activity that they do. So that helps them identify what's coming next. And we can help you guys create an activity chart for them so they can see it. I am putting together a little like worksheet packet type thing so you guys can do this with your children at home. But the most important thing, you have to stick to it. So consistency, doing it every day, including the weekends. We know that the times may vary, but trying to do the same thing when they get up, brush your teeth, change your clothes, get ready for breakfast. Just keep doing the same thing every day. It helps them, it gives them comforting knowing what's coming next. Absolutely. And sometimes they cannot distinguish why some days are different. So we know that things come up every day to day and things. So you might have to have a conversation with your child like, hey, we are not able to do it this way today because of this. So just explaining, but tomorrow we will continue to do it again. So lack of consistency can increase meltdowns or anxious behaviors. You can prevent stress when you set a routine, even for yourself. And in January, we have a self-care workshop that we hope you guys join as well.
And then just to piggyback off on what Ms. Cassandra was saying, the biggest thing is for like your consistency. Every parent is going to pick what works best for them. You know, we, like she said, we do have a couple of different ways and a couple of different schedules. You know, this is just something that I've had from before. Cassandra and I are working on a big template to try to send home to you guys, because each family routine is different, you know, so what may work for me may or may not work for Myron or for John Wednesday, or each family needs something that's totally different. You know, for example, my morning routine, you know, I started off with the checklist, but now Haley knows almost, okay, Haley, you have to get up, go to the bathroom, you know, come downstairs, you know, drink or eat your breakfast. And then everybody, you know, because we've been doing it for so long, it just becomes automatic. So it's really important to keep in mind that what works for one family may not work for the next family. Think about that. We're here to help you, you know, find out what's going to be best for you guys.
Are there any questions so far? All right. So communication, like I said before, most children learn by using visuals. So we can help give you a chart, and you can make your own chart. This is just going to give you an idea of like how to make one, and then you can, like Jenny said, create what works best for your family. Kids also need friendly reminders. So just prompting or cueing them instead of like, you should know this by now. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe it's going to take them a little bit longer to process the routine, and just be like, okay, like every day you can ask them, what are we going to do first? What about after that? And then like on the way home from school, you can ask them, okay, what are we doing when we get home from school? Just like to remind them. The key is to talk to your children. And, you know, if something isn't working out, ask them, how can we make this work? What do you think will help us get through the morning or bedtime? So initiate the conversation, ask them what they, I didn't even see that there, but so give them a job to check the schedule to make sure they are on track. Kids love doing things. They like helping out their parents. So like I said, in the classroom, they have their routine and they give the kids jobs saying what's next. Some of them have like Velcro things where they move around. They can, some of them have them on clips where they can flip them over like this is done. So any type of visual will help them. Affirmation.
So for affirmation is so important. A lot of our classrooms, the jellyfish room, in their morning meeting, they have an affirmation, and it just is an amazing way to start your child's day. Positive reinforcement is so important for your child to help follow the schedule. It's so important to encourage them. Positive reinforcement constantly is what is really going to help them thrive from something, especially, it's going to be brand new. Not every day will be easy, like we discussed earlier. And by, saying, okay, I could have handled that better, but let's go forward and make this a better day, will make a huge difference in their life. The more confident that your child will feel is the more they will want to accomplish things on their own. The more they will realize, oh, wow, I can do this, because it's so linked in with their self-confidence, with their sense of being, with who they are. It makes such a huge difference. They will have such great satisfaction because they will really know what comes next. It's all so linked together, For example, every day in the car, I say to Haley, "You are awesome." And she says it herself. "I see you are smart." And she says it. And then she says, and you are kind. And then at the end of it, we end it with, "You are little yet fierce." Because I think I shared with you guys, Haley was a preemie, and she may be a little tinier, but I don't want that to have any effect on who she is. She is strong. And by saying these things with your child every single day will just manifest such good things within their personality. Also, when your child knows what to do, it helps give them a sense of control. It helps give them a piece of independence that they really need. It's something as simple as saying, "Keep up the good work. You're doing great." Those positive reminders really go such a long way. And it really affects their whole self-esteem. And then I don't know, but yeah, thank you. I just realized I couldn't control it. Thank you. Timing is so extremely important with their routine. So to help with transitions, you can give them a 5-minute warning and say, "Okay, Joey, we are going to get your shoes on. So you have 5 more minutes to," let's say, your part of your morning routine is, they get to pick what show that they want. Let's say 5 more minutes of Paw Patrol, and then we're going to put their shoes on. The time warnings help your child mentally prepare for the next step. As they eventually, like I said, Haley knows her routine down pat. And yes, she still definitely needs reminders. Just this morning, I said, "Haley, 5 minutes." And she looked at me and said, "Okay." She dragged her feet a little bit, but they know. It's it's almost like a pause for them. They can really stop to think about what they're doing. Also, don't overthink it. Make it easy. A lot of times, I use my my Google Play. Well, actually, I don't have Google Play. I use my smartwatch, or if you have one, I have the Alexa. There are also times where we struggle. It's going to take a while. And there are times where you can say, "Okay, I think we need to take a moment. I think we need to reset ourselves." So I'll say to Alexa, "Alexa, please set the timer for 2 minutes." And each child will also, at that point, get to have a moment to pick where they need to sit. So you can give them 2 options, but you have to always be okay with those 2 choices. So for example, okay, you need your 2 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. Please go sit, on your gray chair, or please go sit on the couch. And then after that 2 minutes is up, typically it's a huge difference. I do my best to refrain from calling it a timeout, because I really feel like that almost puts a negative, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. A negative energy. You want to make it as positive as you can be, because sometimes just to take that time to regroup and then you can come back. They do that a lot in the classroom too. Sometimes they use an egg timer. Sometimes they go to the peace place. But again, don't overthink it. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, I was going to say for transitions, the classrooms are successfully run because they use 5-minute warnings or however long they use the warnings and prompting and cueing what's coming next.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that we can do this at home too. I have no doubt in my mind. Change is not easy. Change can be hard for everybody. But it's so important to help yourself identify, not only yourself, but your child too. Even though once you can identify something that may not be your strength, if you can turn it into something positive, it's going to help you follow through as well. Remember, small, tiny changes can make a big, big impact. Like I said, with the timer, with the transition time, with giving yourself a moment of peace and clarity and a moment to reset yourself too, it makes a huge difference. You can also make your own reminders. You guys know I live by my planner. How many times do I talk to my parents and say, guys, hold on, I need my planner. Let me grab a pencil really quick. Because without having that, to write it down, I recognize that in myself that you have to write it down. So be easy on yourself too. Also, a huge thing is make sure that everyone in the household is on the same page, as far as making this change, as far as routines, because I can't imagine if my husband and I made a rule, or let's say he made something without me, and I was like, I don't really like that. It's not going to work. It'll be so hard to do it if everybody isn't on the same page. You guys have to try your best to be your own team, to be your own best parent that you can be. It's so important. Everybody has, one hand has to, help the other, if you will. Also, take a minute to just reflect, because, before you guys can make a change as parents, you have to take time to reflect and be like, okay, I can do this. And it's okay if you need a minute to slow down, because sometimes you need to, think about what you're doing and think about what the best plan of action is for your family. Remember, it's like these little schedule changes and the little changes to your daily routine can really prepare your child to successfully navigate through life. Make a model or make a routine that will make your family successful and not stressful. And honestly, in the morning, take a minute to just enjoy those small moments. As you see them growing and learning and being able to navigate their own routine is the best thing you can do as a parent. And also try to make it fun. Something that really, really works for me is, so like I said, I use the Alexa a lot. So I'll say, Alexa, set timer and play Let It Go. And then I'll say to Haley, okay, Haley, don't forget, this is our leading song. This is when we start to put our stuff together. And by the children hearing it, it almost cues them to go. So enjoy the little changes. The little things like that make a big, big, big difference in your life, and theirs too. Do you guys have any questions?
Does anybody want to share what they are doing now and maybe talk about
great tips. Thanks.
You're welcome. Like what are you guys doing now? Where do you think you could change, or what are your obstacles?
So I don't really do any specific for getting like a real morning routine for Rose, we kind of just go, however, I have a routine for myself. But one thing that Rose does do every day is we are consistent with affirmations. But I really like the idea of creating, you know, the sounds, the music for the morning to, like, you know, getting her to realize that it's time to go, because she gives me a really hard time in the morning with getting ready. And I like that I can use that at nighttime as well, because it's a struggle getting her in the bed. It's a struggle getting her and her
So I'm
sister
having
in
some
bed.
technical difficulties. 1 second.
Oh, okay. Well, those are some really great tips. I'm actually going to use them.
Anybody else?
I notice at night, I've been doing for a while now, is an hour before bed is turning off electronics, and where no TV, and settling, like getting a bath done, settling into bed and reading a book helps a lot with Myron at night, and making sure it's kind of quiet in the house, and having my jammies on and stuff like that. And then the other kids, I noticed that he settles down more once he knows that the whole house is settled down.
Right. Electronics is the big one. So you have to, so the first thing is you have to sit down and look at your day, like day to day, like, okay, what do I do every day? What time do I get up? What time do, I don't know if you do breakfast in the morning or if they get themselves dressed, or if you help them get dressed. And then after school, when you pick them up, is there playtime? What time's dinner? What time's bath time? And then what time is bedtime? So your children, I think it's 10 to 14 hours they're supposed to sleep. So if you think about it, they should be in bed between probably 7, 8 o'clock. And I know sometimes it's not.
You're right.
It's not realistic. They're probably 10, 11 o'clock.
It's maybe 8:30.
Well, I send Rose to bed at 8:30, 8:45, but yeah, she's fighting until 10:30 with her sister and me. Yeah.
So
I think he's freezing.
I know it's bad over there. So Jenny's in the room with me because her computer froze. But so I was just telling them how at their children at their age should be getting 10 to 14 hours of sleep, and that would mean a lot of them about average should be going to bed around 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's not realistic. But that's when you're gonna identify okay, what time am I planning dinner? 6:30. We're not eating until 7:30. Then bed's not until 9:30. So
I actually start dinner at 5.
That's about what I do.
6 for me. Yeah.
So maybe you're working, and if you know that ahead of time, plan the next day, make dinner, make enough dinner so you can have it the next night, so you don't have to make it, you can just heat it up. But the more important thing is to try to stick to the same times, and it doesn't have to be right on the dot. It can be 30 to 45 minutes, but in general the same routine. But like I said, after the break, I will have worksheets that you guys can do. And I'm thinking maybe I'd like to laminate plans. If you guys create something and then tell us what your routine is, and then I can make something for you so you can have it laminated and then use a marker. If it's done, you can have them go check it off, so it's kind of interactive.
What about, would you guys that would be like how they do in the classroom? Would you like something like that?
I also have the Class JoJo. They have a thing on there, but you have to pay for it. They have a schedule thing on there too on Class JoJo. It's I forgot how much it is a month, and you can check off like bedtime routine, or he was on task of going to school and he had it picked up his toys. I noticed that works a little bit too. My morning routine is terrible. He runs around the house like in circles before I can put even his shoes on.
I understand. As a mom, I get it. It took a while for us to get onto Haley's routine. And some kids just struggle, and that's okay.
And if you have more than one child, different ages,
you need different things.
Yeah. But we're here to help. Nicole?
Yeah. So for me, I've always been intimidated by like starting a routine because I'm a product of like a family that never had a routine. They're kind of chaotic. So like having to teach myself the importance of routine and then like getting on a routine was difficult in itself. And then when we moved here, my husband's job, he's not home at night. And I have 4 kids, all different ages, who all kind of need just different things. Just teaching them things can, like, they have different styles of learning, I guess, if you would. And so I would get really overwhelmed by it, and I would just kind of like, ugh, I'm not gonna do it. But I've learned that, like, if I just lean into that difficulty, or if I just accept that this is gonna be hard either way, like if I don't do a morning routine, or not even morning routine, because that one is still struggling, but nighttime routine, like if I don't do this nighttime routine, life is gonna be hard. If I do the nighttime routine and like try to stick to it, it's also going to be hard.
Right.
Like there's a benefit that comes with the other hard, if that makes sense. And
right. Say choose your heart, right?
Yeah, exactly. Choose your heart and lean into the one that's going to benefit not only you, but your children in the long run. And I think that just committing to that has helped. Knowing that it's going to be hard, but like there's a benefit has definitely helped me stay on task. Now we're trying to implement a morning routine, which is, oh my God. So I can't even.
Nicole, why don't you, like you said, start with the night routine? Because I really think successful nights make better mornings. I know that's how that sounds, but it's honest truth. The other day, I did not want to get off of my couch to get our stuff ready for the next day. I was so tired. But I knew that if I didn't set my clothes out, if I didn't set Haley's clothes out, if I didn't pick out her socks or like whatever it is, I knew I was going to just wreck my morning. Sometimes you just have to just do it. Just be like, all right, I need to do this. So start with one thing and then
yes, it is, sis.
Yeah. That's basically what I had like decided on. I was like, okay, there's so many different things that I need to work on, like, but let me focus on the one thing.
Yes.
And that one thing, like, I feel I found confidence in my ability to do the next thing, because now we have our nighttime routine.
Right.
Well, the kids' nighttime routine is really good.
Right.
Now I need to like figure out, okay, once they're sleeping, I need to still do, like you said, the things that can prepare me for that morning routine. So that's right now where I am at. It's like, okay, the kids' nighttime routine is good. Now I need to figure out my nighttime routine to prepare for the next day.
Right. But don't overpush yourself too, because sometimes at night, if you're going and going, remember you have to rest too. So don't take on this huge task, you know?
Thank you, ladies. I have to go now. I'm sorry.
Little things.
It's good. Right. You just have to acknowledge, like, okay, I need help. I need help with this. I can't do it on my own anymore. And that's where like we can come in and help create like more of an reachable goal.
Right.
Because people tend to want to go here, but you need to do baby steps.
Right.
Right.
One, you're not going to be able to implement a morning routine and a night routine. It's going to throw everybody out of the loop. You need to focus on one thing at a time.
Right. Yeah.
And then I know, Nicole, it's our goal, like one of the goals was to work on that. So once I get these packets together and then we can create a visual, I'm like confident these visuals will help you guys a lot more.
Absolutely. And guys, to be honest with you, I didn't do a lot of this stuff until the last 2 years because I came into another site last year. I've been here 5 years, and I said to one of my teacher friends who works on site with me, I said, can I ask your advice? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I need help, but I don't know where to start. And honest to God, she was the person that said, okay, start here. And the thing that we're telling you guys is where I started. I know you can do it because I had no idea. I said, I felt like as a mom, I was doing something wrong. And my teacher friend said, no, do you think that we all just woke up one day and knew how to do this? No, you don't. That's why I truly believe in my heart, it takes a village to raise a child. We can help you be that village and be that stronger parent. That's what we're here for.
Just reading the chats, Crystal, starting and then giving up. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this is too hard.
Yeah.
But that you might not have the support in place. And that's where we can come in and help. Amanda said that Daniel has a morning routine and night routine he follows every day, and he's trying to start getting dressed on his own also.
That's awesome.
And he tells he's doing good.
Yay.
That's great.
That's awesome. Good job.
Does anybody have anything else?
Could you guys hear me okay? Was it skipping too much? No, it was okay? Okay.
Well, I think this was a great workshop. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for reminding me because I really wanted to be here.
I know you did. I know. I was like, wait, let's wait a few minutes because I'm going to call her. Yes. So I'll finish up those packets before break. And then once classes resume in January, because some of your classes are closed, I will make sure to send those home with you guys, and then we can figure out what to do with laminating something after you guys give us the routine you want to do. But just remember, do it with your child. Ask them. Absolutely. Have them work with you, because maybe it's better for them to brush their teeth right after dinner than right before bed. I don't know. It might make sense to them and not you, but as long as they're following a routine. So if there's no more questions.
You guys are good?
Yeah, thank you.
You know how to reach us if you need anything.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Let's go.
What happens if you leave it? Thank you, sir. No, I have to sign out. Whoops.
What's my shirt?